It's 2024. Can you get a C8 Z06 Corvette at MSRP with no wait time? That may be a bit of a hard search, but it might not be impossible. And today I'm going to show you what I've discovered and how you could find a C8 Z06 at MSRP with no wait time in today's video. So alrighty guys, thanks for tuning in today. So the C8 Corvette is now in its 4th year of production, with the Z06 version now going into its 2nd year production. It's a really popular car, and the Z06 in particular is still pretty hard to get if you haven't put your name on a wait list practically years prior. That's especially true if you're looking at getting one at MSRP without an insane markup. And the markups, especially at the beginning, were crazy, going upwards of 50K, 60K, and even some examples of 100,000 over MSRP. But it kind of looks like things are starting to calm down a bit. Some of that is due to supply simply catching up with demand, and another reason is the decently high APR finance levels you can get currently, which can make it or break it, especially for, let's be honest, a pretty pricey car for that average person. But now I've seen it possible to get a regular C8 Stingray under MSRP. That's right, brand new under MSRP, and have come across a few examples of Z06s at MSRP that were available to purchase with no wait. And if you got in your C8 at or under MSRP without having to wait, let me know in the comments and share how you were able to do it. So okay, how is it possible to find these kind of deals? Well, the first thing is you can't go through the normal channels. You're most likely not going to find it looking at different dealer inventories. You may be able to find some of the Stingrays at or below MSRP, but not likely the Z06s. By the time those cars are listed on the official dealer's website, they've already had someone who's been looking at it beforehand and is already practically a step or two ahead of you. And that's especially true for the lower trim level Z06s, as those cars are a bit more attainable to more people because of the lower prices. Initially, to find these deals, and still true now, it depends on the level of communication you have going on. Sometimes it's a guy who knows a guy, or having direct relationships with some of the salespersons at these different dealerships. And that was true at the end of last year as it is in the beginning of this year. I had a couple of buddies of mine who let me know directly of Z06s that they've come across at MSRP. And trust me, it was so hard to say no to those opportunities. But I have other priorities I need to focus on first, and if things work out correctly, I know the right opportunity will come at the right time. In any case, so those level of communications are helpful, and if it's worth anything, building that level of communication, which can start simply getting in touch with different salespeople at your local Chevy dealership, can help you. It's worth it. But that's not the only way I found that works. If you're looking for more concrete ways of seeing examples of C8s being sold at or below MSRP, checking out different Corvette forums or social media platforms like Facebook group pages, I found has worked really well. And this is honestly where I found a lot of the examples of C8s that were hitting the criteria of at or below MSRP, which includes this one Facebook group page, which ironically is called Corvettes at or below MSRP. Go figure, right? By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, I'd invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It does let YouTube know that you're enjoying this kind of content, share it to other people, and helps me make more content like this. So thank you for the support. So okay, going back to one of the face groups I found, there were a lot of really good examples of C8s being sold at or below MSRP for $2,000, $3,000, and even sometimes $5,000 or more off, which is pretty good for a Stingray. And these are brand new in some of the newest colors out there, like the Cacti Green and the Sea Wolf Gray. And especially for the Stingrays, it's becoming more and more common to find those kind of deals a few times each week, actually. So even if there's a particular kind of C8 Stingray that you were waiting to build, odds are, if you wait long enough, a version with options close to what you're looking for will be available, and it might not take as long as waiting for a dealership to have an allotment available for you to actually, build your own specifically. But what really caught my eye was the examples of the Z06s at MSRP being sold. It was pretty crazy to me to see as many examples as those Z06s being available. I thought maybe there would be like 1 or 2 examples out there, but it turns out there's like a good 10 to 12 examples out there of these cars brand new being sold at MSRP over the last few months. And a lot of these cases where the original buyer had to back out of a deal last second, and the dealership still wants to maintain their MSRP credibility, so they stick with putting it out on the market and it sells pretty quickly. The only caveat though still is a lot of the Z06 MSRP examples that I came across were on the higher trim levels and not having options that were the most constrained, like the Z07 option. Which makes sense, those are more pricey than, let's say, a base Z06, and you're talking like 35, 40 grand more in some of those cases. Again, not as many people are going to be able to swing that much on average on an already pretty pricey car. But it gives you a solid idea that these kinds of opportunities are there and becoming more frequent, and I think with the E-Ray finally beginning production, this will become even more frequent. So for more Corvette news and product reviews content, check out any of my other videos. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.